Al derech zehu gam b'mitzvahs. So it is also with the commandments. In Yanam, the whole point of the commandments is lahosif or bolam. Why are we doing the commandments? To put more light in the world. It's like you're making a little tube of goodness and godliness and life and energy from the Creator to the creation. Yitaken, it could be, shelifamim, that sometimes, lefi fashat, temporarily, begilui, in a revealed way, heim hepech inyanam. This is exactly the opposite. Limud Torah and mitzvahs of, let's say, for instance, of an evil person. Lozu bilvad she'enu mirim. Not only does it not shine, ala adarabah, heim magbirim et hachoshech. Sometimes, if a person does the commandments for the wrong reason, it makes more darkness, for and concealment in the world. But the commandments, the whole purpose is mosifim chayot b'klipa. It can be that commandments can actually, and learning Torah can actually add power to evil. How can there be such a thing like that? Here we have very simple. The whole Christian religion is based on the Torah. It's based on the Torah. Every word of the Torah is true. Right? Comes up. What do? They took every sentence and twisted it around. But still it's based on the Torah. So a person can sit and learn Torah and add evil to the world, confusion to the world. Confusion to the world. The same thing is also, we had people, Yeravam ben Nevat, Elisha ben Avua, Menashe. These people were great Talmidei Chachamim, tremendous scholars, great leaders, and they came out to be evil people and made everybody do sins because of their Torah power, because of their Torah ability. For lo rak b'Torah of a mitzvah shel rasha, not only if a person learns Torah for the wrong reason can it add life to the bad side, ela kain hu gam b'Torah of a mitzvah shel lo lishman. If a person learns Torah and he does the commandments for his own sake, in order to go to heaven, he's not thinking about God at all. L'shem peniya, or he wants to be a big rabbi, or he wants to be a Rosh Yeshiva, or he wants to be known by his congregation or something. We can see clearly, kasher chasra kavana, if there is lacking the true intention in the Torah and the commandments, yochel adam, a person is able, lavo mizeh, to come to yeshus v'gaiva. Can make a person more egotistical. Oh, so what's going on? We see that Korach is making a big mistake over here. Korach said, when it comes to doing the commandments, everyone's equal. You, Moses, said the main thing is doing the commandments, right? So we're all doing the commandments, and we're all equal, right? So the Rebbe says, not so simple, not so fast. The fact of the matter is there's big differences in how people do the commandments. Some people can do the commandments purely for themselves. If so, it just adds confusion to the world. Other people can do the commandments for totally the wrong reason. Like we said with Menashe and these other people. Some people can do the commandments for no reason at all. They just do it. Just do it. And some people can do the commandments, they're doing it for God. They're doing it to make the world a better place. They're doing it to bring blessing into the world. Oh, that's starting to get the right idea. But that's very rare. It says Moshe is coming to teach the people how to do it for that reason, for the right reason. And that's very rare. That takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to be happy serving God. A lot of work. It's not natural. Right? The nature of people is to think about themselves, to worry about what's going to happen, to be uncertain. Right? That's the nature of people as human beings. Moses came to say, forget about that. You have the commandments, you do a commandment, you do it for God. Forget about what's going to be. It's not you are not here to think about yourself. You're here to think about making the world a better place, and you're here to think about doing what God wants. And how do you do that? Through the commandments. That makes the commandments shining. Maisim tovim. Makes them shining. What do you want, Korach? You want everybody to be equal, just to do the commandments cold. That's the opposite of the intention why God created the world. That's the difference between me and you. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu is going to say. The true kvani, toch she'u margish et malato, when a person feels the highness Ha'atzmit, she'itzliach, that a person feels that he succeeded, la'amod b'ifnei kashayim, to stand against all difficulties, ulakayim et mitzvah, and to do the commandments. Right? How many Jewish people really do the commandments? Right? Not that many do the commandments. It's very, very difficult to make that decision to do commandments. Very difficult. Right? It's not easy. And when you're in the yeshiva, it seems very natural. Everyone is doing it. But the fact of the matter is in the real normal world, doing commandments is, you are in the really big minority. The big minority. Even the vast minority of the Jewish people. Right? How many Jewish people put on tefillin? Says the Rebbe, if a person really is able to withstand all of this opposition, all of this, deterrence to doing the commandments in a happy way, then he should feel a sense of accomplishment. Especially when he does the commandments in a special way, in a happy way. Davar zeh hinei hepech inyan. I'm sorry. Right. And sometimes this can bring a person to feel also a sense of accomplishment, but sometimes it can also feel very egotistical. Look at me. I'm the one of the few that puts on tefillin. Look how great I am. Says the Rebbe, this is the opposite of the whole idea of a mitzvah. What does the word mitzvah mean? Mitzvah is from the language of tzavta v'chibur, joining and uniting. When you do a mitzvah, al yadei mitzvah mechabrim im kodesh baruch hu, you actually unite yourself with God. Did you know that, Zechariah?
Yes.
When you do a mitzvah, you actually unite with God. Very good. Of al yadei yeshut, but if a person puts his own ego and his own selfishness, mitnatkim mi kodesh baruch hu, in 1 second, you're separated from God. Separated from God. HaKodesh Baruch Hu says, Al Bal Gaiva, a person who is an egotist, Ani, Ein Ani V'hu Yochel Lador. An egotist doesn't leave any room for me in the world. I can't live in the same world as him. They say that the idea of doing tshuva, what is doing tshuva? It means to turn around, do tshuva. How can two people be ultimately far? Let's say there's somebody you really hate. How can you get the farthest away from him possible? What's the farthest away you can be from a person? Let's say you want to put the biggest distance between you and someone else. How do you do it? Biggest distance. Not physically. You want to put the biggest physical distance between you and somebody else. How can you do it?
Run away.
Huh?
Run away.
So where do you run to? Where do you go to? So let's say you put half of the world between you, right? He's in China and you're in California. Let's say that's the opposite of the world. We're in Florida. So half of the world is between you. Says, but that's only half of the world. How could you put the whole world between you? Stand back to back. If you're back to back with the other person, so then the whole world until you get to him, he's got the whole world until he gets to you. If you're standing on half of the world, he's here and you're here, you only have half of the world between you. But if you're standing back to back, then you turn your back on the person, then he is infinitely far away from you. Not infinitely, the whole world is between you. Huh? Right or not? The whole world. That's exactly the same thing. As soon as you turn your back on God, he turns his back on you, infinitely far away. But there's a benefit. As soon as you do tshuva, all you have to do is turn around. Then you're infinitely close. Then you become tremendously close. So if you turn your back on the Creator, he turns his back on you, then it's the ultimate farness. Can't be anything further than that. How do you get back together again? All you have to do is turn around. You turn around and all of a sudden it's the ultimate closeness. Says that's what's called tshuva umaisim tovim. Tshuva means you just turn around, and then when you're face to face with God, you realize, wow, I'm just a creation. I'm really lucky to be here. And I can do what the Creator wants. I can do a commandment. We didn't talk about that today. I can do one of the Creator's commandments. Incredible. And the Creator appreciates it. He appreciates when nachat ruach she'amarti v'naseh ratzoni. God gets pleasure when I do the commandments. There's a very, very basic message of the Chassidic way, of the Baal Shem Tov, that God actually enjoys what we do. We, so to speak, change God's mind. How can that be? Because that's the way God set the world up. That's the way He set the world up. So that's the job of Moses. The job of Moshe is to make everybody appreciate God, to turn around to the face-to-face with the Creator. Behelem u'bepenimius, in concealment and in the inside. Kam az, then also then. Harihen Torah v'mitzvahs. They are Torah and commandments. Shalochein nifsak b'shulchan aruch. It says in the Shulchan Aruch that even a rasha, even an evil person, tzorich lilmod Torah, he should do the Torah, and certainly he will do the commandments, even though meanwhile, while he's doing it, he's adding energy to the klippa, the bad things. But afterwards, when he does tshuva, hu bavadai, and every Jew for sure is going to do tshuva. The Rambam says, every Jew for sure is going to come back to Hashem. Harei lo yidach mimenu nidach, because it says that no one will be pushed away from you. Then yatsu nitzutzus hakadusha. Then there will be holy sparks from the Torah and the mitzvahs that he did, and they'll take them all out of the evil from the klippa, and everything will shine. All the time that he didn't do tshuva, the Torah and the mitzvahs that he did when he was ignorant of God, he did Torah, he did commandments, but he did it for the wrong reason. They are like an Evan Tova. It's just like a diamond in the mud. And this makes even more darkness in the world. Let's just do 2 more paragraphs. We'll go up to Zion, okay? We'll take a short break. You know what? Let's take a 5-minute break now. 5-minute break, all right?